Hello everyone and welcome to YLAC 2nd grade lesson 5. Today we'll be going over comparing 3-digit numbers, using a graph, addition, subtraction, and some word problems. So for the first part, this is called comparing 3-digit numbers, and pretty much in this section you'll be comparing the numbers by using greater than, less than, or equal to. And so let's go to our first problem to get started. So for number 1, it's 504 blank 387. So obviously we can tell right away that 504 is not equal to 387, and we know that 504 is also not less than 387, so you would have to write greater than. Now let's check number 8. So number 8 makes you do a little more things, but it is pretty much the same thing. The only difference being that you have to simplify. So for number 8, 200 plus 1 blank 202 minus 1. First, you would simplify this, so this would be 201 once you do it, and for 202 minus 1, that would also be 201. You can see that 201 is not greater than 201 or less than, and you can see that they are the same numbers, which means that this is equal to. Now going on to our next part, we have something called using a graph. Use a graph to answer the questions below. So for this graph, as you can see, there's something about favorite colors, and our colors that are casted here are red, blue, purple, green, and yellow, 5 of them, and we seem to have the number of votes casted for these colors. And so it shows on the first question which color got the most votes. So we have to look at our graph, and we can see that purple is obviously taller than the rest, meaning this is the answer. Now for the second question, it says how many students chose red, meaning that you would have to look for red, which should be right here, and you'd see how many students voted. So that's 1, 2, 3. 3 students. And for number 3, you would do how many more votes did yellow get than blue. So you would look for yellow, which is 4. And we will look for blue, which is 2. When they ask for more, how many more, you're going to have to do 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. So you would write 2 votes. Now for number 4, it says that Sophia says the colors red and green have the same number of votes. Is she correct? Well, we would look. Red has 3 votes, and so does green, meaning yes. For number 5, you would have to add all of these vote numbers because they're asking for how many students are all together. So we can see 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4. Now 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. And 10 plus 3 is equal to 13. And 13 plus 4 is equal to 17. So you would write 17 students. For the third part, we have something called addition and subtraction. Use addition and subtraction to solve each equation. So we start from the left and pretty much work your way all the way through. So 39 plus 12 is equal to 51. Now, after you get this, you would also subtract 28. And once you do that, you should get 23, which would be your final answer. That's pretty much how you do it for 1 through, I believe, these top 4. And when you go to around, let's say, number 8, you just have more extra work to do. So I will do this one with you guys. So 64 minus 16, that's simply 48. And then you would add 2, which is equal to 50. And you would subtract 50, which is equal to 0. So for our last part, as usual, we have our word problems, and let's go to the first problem. Mr. Brown has 26 pencils. Miss Garcia borrowed 7 pencils. How many pencils does Mr. Brown have left? So Mr. Brown, he has 26, and Miss Garcia borrowed 7, meaning she took away 7. So let's subtract 7. Now that is equal to 19. So for in context, you would write 19 pencils. Let's go to number 3. The library has 43 books about Halloween. 15 of the books have been borrowed. How many books are still in the library? So again, similar to the question before we just did, you would do 43 minus 15. And that is equal to 28. And so in context, again, you would write 28 books. The Toy Story sold $16 in April, $20 in May, and $13 in June. How many dolls did this toy store sell in all? So just because they sold something does not mean it would be subtracting always, because then we don't know what we're subtracting from. So in context, you would be adding these all up. So we can see that in April they sold 16, and in May they sold 20, and in June they sold 13. So you would add all of these up. So 6 plus 0 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. And so you would get 49. So in context, you would write 49 dolls. Well, that's all for our lesson 5 Y-Log 2nd grade, and I hope you have a great day.